I'm James and welcome back. Today we're going to look at the third part of the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer. So I said I might pick it up. I saw a couple of copies cheap, so I did pick it up. So let's have a look what it actually includes. So we've got our figures. I'll put them to one side. We'll come back to them in a minute. The bases that go with them. Rid of the piece of plastic. So what have we got? Let's go through it. So we've got the Realm of Beasts, explaining a little bit about that. Land of Monsters, War in the Realms of Beasts. Monsters of Ghur, a little bit of detail on that. The main part's going to be the Stormcast Vindicators, and as previously, it's a little bit of background. We've got the origin for them, a bit about their armour, unit traits which don't actually seem to have any effect in game terms. Whether that will change later on, I don't know. Unit card for them, names for the Stormcast, how to build, a little bit on that, how to use dice. I find this strange it's actually taken until the third issue for this, but it explains about a D3, how re-rolls work, roll-offs, how to modify the dice, and stray dice. So nothing in there if you're a gamer. Starting to use War Scrolls, so it now gives you a little bit more detail about the units. I get the feeling these are only introductory War Scrolls, but they will probably be expanded in later versions. So we've now got a Border Skirmish. Now the Border Skirmish features 3 Gut Rippers from last week, with 2 of the Vindicators from this week, against the Kill Boss and the Stabgrot and the Knight Arcanum from week 1. Still works exactly the same, it's just moved forward in combat, slightly more complex now, in that you've got 4 units with different statistics, so it's a little bit more detail on that. And that then is the magazine. There's the usual subscription guide, what you get, and then we get the figures. Now, bearing in mind this has gone up now, it's now $8.99. Is it worth spending that? Well, you get 3 sprues there which make up 5 of the brain's gone blank, the Vindicators. So I did price them up. They come in boxes of 10 normally, and buying them like this is actually cheaper than buying them that way. So let's put them to one side, because as ever what I've done, I said I bought 2, is I've actually built and assembled them. So we have, let's get these the right way around, we have a leader figure, he says, managing to knock the shoulder off that. Oh, back in. There we go. So we get a leader figure. Find it interesting that the leader figure is actually female. It's nice to see some strong female characters. I hadn't really picked up on that when I looked at the Age of Sigmar figure. So we've got the leader, we've then got a banner carrier, nicely detailed. I mean, the details are all on there, so painting and dry brushing will bring that out really easily. Do particularly like the face on that one. He's got a lovely old grizzled face. So we have that one, and we then got 3 ordinary warriors. So we've got one there. Interesting poses with the great big halberds. At the end of the day, it would take superhuman strength to actually do much with them, I would have thought, one-handed. So we've got those 2, and then we've got a final figure. Interestingly, the first one I picked up is female as well, and then 2 male. So you're going to mix of male and female in there, which is a nice touch. Now you'll also notice there are the little pieces on the base. A practical tip, when you're building these, it says to put them on, mentions them at the end of the instructions. I found it better to put them on before I started. I actually took some of the figures back off to put them on. But here's a subtle difference from what we've had before. We've got a few extra parts. So we've got a few spare halberds. We get a shield. Now there are 5, including this one, ordinary shields, and there is a more ornate one. I'll bring the two up so you can see. So there is a subtle difference between the two shields. Not huge, but enough to mark out a leader figure. So you've got, I actually put the ornate shield on rather than the standard. You've got a spare back. I haven't really worked out where that one slots in yet. I believe it's for that figure, which moves the sword to the other side basically. And then you actually get 7 spare heads. That's a lot of spare heads. There's only 5 figures and we've now got 12 heads between them. So what I am planning to do is to actually make up a second set, and I'm going to do some swapping around with some of these. I might have a look online, see if there's an instruction guide as to what will swap with what. The bodies are pretty much fixed, but you can do a lot of variation, I think, with that. So again, I feel I got my money's worth with this. I don't know how many. I probably won't pick up the following one unless the paints are particularly useful for me. I didn't check what paints were in it. Let's have a look what issue 4 has got. In all fairness, it's got 4 paints in there and a paintbrush, which for £9 is not bad really. So you've got Leadbelcher, Auric Thrash, Cantor Blue and Retributor Armour. If you're going for the standard colour schemes, they're probably quite useful. So okay, I might have a look for them. Somebody did comment, oops, knocked a figure over, on a previous video that Games Workshop seemed to do these much cheaper for the UK, but I have spotted this, and it wasn't available elsewhere, but there is now an Australian and a New Zealand price on there. So there might be more, available elsewhere. So I hope that's been useful. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click on the like button below so that I know what people like and I know what to make more of. Alternatively, if you've enjoyed it and think you'd like to see more, please click on the subscribe button. That way you get notified by YouTube whenever I bring out a new video. And you never know, there might be something in there that you hadn't considered, because I do cover a variety of things on the channel. And finally, if you have a little bit of cash going, I now have a Patreon account. I'm always looking for patrons, because at the end of the day, let's be perfectly honest, it's a good way for me to get a little bit of money that will use to buy review items or to travel to museums and so on. I don't put a huge amount on that. At the minute, all we've got is one tier charging £1 a month, which just, as I said, helps cover my costs. See you soon.